I want to take it back. And right now I'm locked in, and you can see nothing's happening.
Now, if I push too hard, you can send your shoulder. Nope.
Oh.
Arm there.
There.
Yeah.
And so we started. That's how we figure out. Okay, how do you make yourself stronger without physically making your muscles stronger? It really is about figuring out where an individual student's structure is and what position they need to be in, and how to fine-tune those things.
You've got nothing but a class full of newbies. There's just no place for this.
Well, and this is why we put this curriculum together,
Yeah.
because the sword parts are really easy, and then everything else is sort of tweaking the individual student.
I gotta admit, years ago, I've known for being a weak single sword fencer.
I'm gonna borrow one.
Because it didn't click to me, it wasn't fun, so I just did dagger. Now that my teachers have learned better techniques for teaching, because for some reason single sword made no sense to me. Totally different equation.
Yep.
Now that they've gotten better, they've done it in a way that makes sense to me now, and I think will make sense to other new fencers.
Part of it was also the way that you move your sword.
Yeah.
You used to move your sword with your elbow. So you make these really huge disengagements.
Yeah, like that.
And I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. And so we start looking at individual fine-tuning. We want this disengage to be as small as possible, so that when I'm here, she disengages, I can make it really small. Right? There's no reason she can't do that. This is not a heavy sword. And so what we looked at was, this is from Olympic fencing. You steer the sword with your pinky.
Has anybody ever had Anton's little trick about as you lunge, you squeeze your pinky?
Yep.
Makes a weird ass world of difference.
When you disengage the sword, you do the same thing. And so the thing that I added to it was thinking about a pair of scissors. Your sword is one half of it. Let your hand move. So disengage. And so this counterweight motion makes it easier. Combining that with the grip of the fingers. Again, all we're doing is this, but we're fine tuning it and we're adding a small thing.
So once I got this down real good, that's good English right there. Then we started.
Disengage and try.
I had a great teacher when I learned to disengage. I had a cat that liked to play with the sword, and I would sit there and I would disengage around the cat's paws. If you can out-disengage a cat.
Probably pretty good, yeah.
You're a very angry cat.
Yeah. No, he was a very playful cat. He just liked to play with it. I learned that I trained him to teach me how to disengage.
And then so all of the other stuff that we've been doing is sort of building around overcoming strength disadvantages. And there's one other thing that I want to go through, which is driving the sword into the ground. So sometimes when you attack, just attack. You got it. I'm just really strong, right? I'm not going to move. Or what happens is I'm disengaging, and when you come across, I'm just going to pick it up. All right? Okay. I'm a bully. I'm a strong guy. And so we looked at what are some other things that you can do to use the stronger parts of her body or anyone else's body against the weaker parts of my body, because I'm all the way up here. Let's turn this way. Look on my sword.
You all see?
So if we break that down a little bit, she's going to gain my sword, and sometimes if I do this, she's got a plan. If I'm going to disengage and come high, this is how she can adjust it. So she's going to pick it up, and then she's going to drop the hilt down as she extends her arm forward. The sword naturally goes into exactly where she wants it to be, between her blade and her hilt. And I have a huge disengage, and then she just does this. So she's not trying to fight my arm with her arm. She's trying to fight my arm with her leg muscle.
And what I picture in my head is that I'm not trying to push down this. I'm aiming to get his sword here.
She's gonna sit on it.
So that I can essentially put my hilt on his blade, if you may. And as I said, I'm just gonna sit on it.
I cannot curl Gwen, and I certainly can't do it with my arm at full extension.
You can't lift her up at the end of the sword.
Yeah.
So that was sort of the single sword thing. And then we decided to, and then, you know, I said, all right, now you do have two hands, so we went with a buckler, because a buckler's got advantages without being a dagger and becoming a crutch. And so we started with the basics. Whenever you move your sword, you open the line. Put the buckler where your sword is. So when Gwen comes to engage my sword, she puts the buckler. This is a big one, but kind of like high. Or if it's low, or if it's high, if the sword's high, the buckler's lower. The sword's lower, the buckler's higher. Yeah. And that was sort of the first start of it with passively. And then we looked at engage with the sword first, because that's what we've been doing, and then you give it to your buckler. So.
Should we go the other way so the buckler's not facing them?
Sure. Engage my sword. I'm going to disengage. You're going to pick it up, and then you're going to pass it to your buckler. Yep. So that. Okay, cool.
If I miss,
she's cutting off the disengage. She's not, she's not super aggressive with the buckler, but it's stopping the thing that I can do. Same with the other way. Engage out. Okay, I'm going to come underneath, and then pass it to the buckler. Go chicken wing. Extend your buckler arm. There. So she's picking it up, and then she's just going. The bucklers we use are the Italian potato chip of death, and so they got those channels. And so it's like pass it, put it into the sword, and then just let it slide out, and then you kind of win. Yeah, a little bit. These are our favorite. That's because it's made of steel. So, engage my sword again. Come in, pick it up. Cool. And then all she has to do is walk towards me. And that's really all we've been doing with the buckler. Is making it, using it to close the lines that are opening up, and then put the sword in it, and then go get them. This works. This is something that when we pick up daggers again will work just fine, except that the dagger is also pointing. And that's kind of how we've built this. So we've built this entire curriculum off of this: 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're trying to fashion it to the particulars of Gwen's body and the kinds of fights that she tends to engage in. And so, from my perspective, having a common set of these are the things that we're going to go over this week is really, really helpful, because I don't have to think about these things. I can think about the particulars of the student and what it is, what the specifics are that they need in order to be successful and successfully implement some of these things. A lot of these things just came off of, this isn't working for me. Okay, well, let's look at something else that we can do.
Yeah. And one of the things that he does, I don't know if he does this naturally or just from his years of teaching other martial arts. One thing that works really well for me, and I believe it's because I'm a girl, I know you guys all heard this, but for those of you who didn't, what he does is he's like, okay, so here's the thing. Even if it's just find the blade. Okay. There. Okay, we're going to do this slow until I'm starting to get it. Okay, we're going to go a little faster. Maybe we're going to do half speed. Like when he walked towards me. He started off just, tell me when to freeze. And sometimes, there were the times that I'm saying freeze and he's going, no, too late. Okay, do it again. And then he would start to speed up. He always told me, so I knew when the game was changing. And especially when he says, okay, let's get masks on. Okay, that means we're going to start hitting each other. Or if we already have them on. Okay, now we're going to go full speed. Now I know he's going to hit me. For me, this is very important, just as a female, because if he doesn't tell me, and I think we're learning, and then all of a sudden, BAM! What the fuck? This is straight up female psychology. What my brain has just concluded is that you just punished me for trying. Imagine every time you tried something and you did it wrong and your teacher hit you.
Some of us may have gone to Catholic school.
Yeah, and remember Catholic school, especially for girls. I mean, more guys than women who like that. Our teammate Quill, he just wants you to beat the shit out of him until he gets it right. This is weird to me.
You're going to hit him and hit him and hit him, and then all of a sudden what you're doing is not going to work. And he's like, oh, he's learned something.
And to me, no. If you hit me and hit me and hit me and hit me 12 times, the 13th time I'm not going to magically get this. So for me, announce to me when this is changing, so I know, okay, hitting is coming.
And the reason that we do these drills with masks off is so that when I show her when something's not working, it's slow and controlled and it's useful. So if we're going to play the game of blade drill,
So I'll gain it badly.
if I just do this, if she just does something weird.
That's all I need. That's what you do. Just place it there.
Yep.
Or I do something and he just stops the rapier. It's really clear to me that I did it wrong. He doesn't need to hit me. I can see this.
This is how we tweak the fly fishing.
Yeah.
So if you're here and if you gain and I apply pressure and you fly fish,
Oh.
I don't have to hit her. I can say Kai Gwyn.
And I go, oh yeah, got it wrong.
So then we look at that again. Oh, yeah, that's much better.
For me, this is very important because I'm not being punished for trying, and also it continues to foster the trust I have in my teacher.
As a teacher, it makes me look at the things. I know in my head that didn't work, but it makes me think about why it didn't work and demonstrate how it didn't work. And doing it slowly without the ability to just pop someone makes me think about what am I doing, what did you do that was not correct, and how do we correct it? Because from here I can back up to any point in the sequence and make adjustments so that the student knows this is what I was doing before. Okay, this is what I need to do now.
Yeah, there are times when we will be here and Kai will go, okay, rewind, and he will just rewind his arm 3 steps and go, okay, that's where it went south.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And then I don't get frustrated. Sometimes I get frustrated, but it's me. I don't get discouraged. I'm not fearful of trying because he's basically proven to me I'm not going to hurt you until we both agree. Okay, if I hurt you, you can hurt me back.
Or if I put on a mask and I tell her to leave hers off, it means I want you to do this at full speed or at your full speed. I am not going to hit you. I need to know that you can hit me. I do that a lot.
Especially for, I'm average height for a girl. I'm 5'5", and most men are taller. 80% of the men at my practice are like over 6 foot.
Your practice is also entirely bronze rings and ladies.
That too. But from the beginning, 10 years ago, they're all taller than me. This is a weapon. Granted, now I have to think a little hard, but I remember going, yeah, there were times when that was scary. So I'm going, oh God, it's a guy with a weapon, and oh God, he's taller than me, and oh God in heaven.
Now you're not afraid of it.
Yeah, now I'm not. Partially because of them. They taught me in a way that helped me foster trust in them. As individuals and as men, going, okay, they're not gonna hurt me. They're not going to punish me for trying. This is a safe place for all the fact that we all got weapons in our hands.
So the goal with this curriculum, we're in the process of writing it up. Gwen is typing it out of her notebook, and then one of our other guys, we talked about Quill, is a technical writer. So he translates engineering speak into English a lot. And so we're going to give it to him. And we're just going to make this, our plan is just make it available for anyone to use and play with. Because this is not Capifero, it's not Gigante, it's not any particular thing, but these will get someone from what's that to I can authorize and not suck at it relatively quickly, because these are simple kind of good fundamental sorts of fencing that you can then tweak from. Okay. And now we're fencing, and now we're doing the same thing, or we're doing the same thing, or even we're doing this.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's silly.
It is something that can translate into a particular system if you want to, or it is something that you can just keep fine-tuning, and then you'll just sort of be be fine with it.
We all know in our organization a really high compliment is we don't suck.
I'm going to leave the list open for about another 20 minutes, and then no more sign-ups.
But yeah, that leaves. But yeah, having that baseline leaves me free to look at the particulars of the student and make sure that they don't. Make sure that what I am doing is what is right for them, because the SCA is not a martial arts school. In a martial arts school, you show up and you are taking. You are doing their thing until you've got it right. That's very traditional. A lot of WMA schools do this too. We're going to teach you theory, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this the theory way. And that's just not the SCA, because the SCA, we can like leave. It's like, I'm here because I want this thing, and I think it's cool, and I think it's fun. But if it's too hard, if it's too frustrating, if it makes me do too many things that I'm not familiar with or uncomfortable with, I'm going to go do something else. I can go shoot archery, or I can make beer, or whatever it is I can do. And so, these are easy. These are things that fit into what most of us think of as fencing. And this frees up us as instructors to make sure it's fun for them. And so, like, the guys who don't want to, they don't want to learn, they just are here for fun. You can kind of do this because, I can do this for 10 minutes, cover one thing. Please go write it down, and then we can come back the next day. Or even if they don't write it down, we can go over it for 10 minutes. Then the next week we can do the thing that we did last week for 3 minutes, just to make sure that the movements are right, and then go to the next thing.
And there are concepts that took me 2-3 practices to get down. Because it wasn't quite, didn't quite click. It's like, okay, bless this man's heart, he's like the most patient person on the planet. You just go, okay, here it is again. Week 3. Okay, here it is again. Oh, now I got it. Okay, we're gonna open.
Yep. And so,
body language. We've known each other.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm getting it.
Okay.
We've known each other 10 years. Not everybody has that luxury, but he knows how to read body language, and he's learned how to read my body language.
Almost like I'm a fencer.
Yeah. So through a mask, he can see the 20-yard stare, or it must be elsewhere in my body that he can see. Yeah, she's done.
You just do this. You just kind of collapse on yourself, and you're like.
So he's learned, and he also knows I'm not going to say it. I might not even know I'm done. I might think I can still do this, and he's going, oh, there's this love. No, she's done.
The most important question that I've learned to ask is, how is your brain?
Yeah. Not how are you doing? I'm doing good. How is your brain?
Oh, it's full.
Brain is full.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
The only thing else that I'll do for sort of the practice part of practice is, when you go fight someone, go work on that and tell them that you're working on that. Because if you're Terry, you've seen all this before, and you know exactly what to do to counter. Don't. Especially if they come up and tell you, I'm working on this thing, be accommodating. Don't be like, oh yeah, I know how to counter that, and just blast them. That doesn't help.
You guys have to feel success.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've got to, when you're the teacher, you've got to be able to have that rheostat where if they're at 1, you're at 1.5 or 2.
Sometimes
so you've got to just be high enough so that you can push them without humiliating them. Then when they succeed, then you
don't punish them for trying.
Ratchet it up a little bit more.
At Three Saints, Mara had a novice tourney where I had the privilege of being a speed bump. So just fighting me, you get a point. If you beat me, you get 2 points, 3 passes. It's a novice tourney. I have got nothing to prove. I've already got one of these. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be a fun fight. I'm gonna make you work for it. But I have extra cookies. You will get a cookie, but I'm gonna make you work for that cookie. So they're at a 1. I'm at a 1.5.
Yeah.
They didn't always get both points. They didn't always kill me. But I'm like, those who did, I'm like, you earned that cookie. So I'm at a 1.5.
The thing that I tell people when they're working with newbies, and this is something that you had to learn too, is don't fight badly. Fighting someone badly accomplishes nothing. So
I'm all for myself learning how
if you're, if I come out and I fight you here, that doesn't teach you anything.
Yeah.
Right? So instead, I said fight bigger. I'm going to do all the right things. I said I'm going to do them slightly larger. I'm doing proper techniques I'm using the things that I know, but I'm doing them. My motions are not necessarily slower. We're not wearing helmets, so they are, but they're bigger. So if I'm going to gain or blade, if this is a gain, I'm going to go right. I'm going to make it more visible,
More obvious.
so that they know what the thing is and what to do about it.
So they can learn to see it.
And when you fight someone new, you do them no favors by doing things that no good fencer will ever do.
Right.
So do the good things, but do them in a way that they can see.
I can tell the number of times.
There was a fencer, and I'm not going to say who it is. He is incredibly good. But when you fight him, if he's at speed, you just simply die.
Yep.
Now, we were at practice a couple of months back, and my daughter was fighting, and he just goes, well, it was so obvious that he was dogging me that it bordered on insulting.
Yeah, you're like, what are we even doing?
And I don't like fighting this guy at practice because I learn
Yeah.
nothing. And then when he slows it down so much, it's like, okay, I'm gonna fight you at your speed now.
Right. So that doesn't help.
And it's just like insulting at that point. And okay, you got to make them feel like they're earning something.
I can tell you the number of times I would fight somebody, and I thought we had a communication. New, I've been doing this a year, and then I'm just like, I have no idea what the hell just happened, other than the fact I'm dead.
Yeah.
That doesn't serve. Well, it frustrates me. Makes me feel like a shit.
Not at practice.
Yeah.
It might be at an event.
In
But
a
I'm like, I thought I just told you I'm new. Why did you just what?
Yeah.
What did you? And then I get out. I'm like, what the hell did you just prove that you wiped the floor with me? We know you're better.
So, when you fight someone and you fight them at combat speed-ish, but you make all your moves a little bigger, you're still fighting well. You're still fighting them at a realistic speed, but you're giving them, because your moves are bigger, you're giving them more time to understand what you're doing.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, in attorney,
Don't
you
kill
want there to win. That's part of the deal of attorney. If you go up against somebody and you know that they're really new or that you are just classes ahead above them.
If there were 2, maybe go to 4 instead of 3.
But you've got to be careful in a tournament, because one of the problems with being a dedicated teacher is
You go there in teacher mode.
sometimes you forget
And you get smoked.
that you're in a. Years ago, I was fighting a friend of mine, and she had just started fighting, and I'm going at it in the tournament, and I'm going, okay, yeah, that's a good move. That's nice. Yeah, that's really good.
Why am I dead?
Yeah, that's really good. This is a tournament. Die.
As far as I'm mostly concerned, go ahead.
My way around fighting that particular problem has been at practice with my new people, I am Capo Ferro. And when I step out and I'm actually full speed fighting, I am Fabulous. And separating those two styles in my head has allowed me, because Capo Ferro is teaching, Fabulous is I'm out for now.
And as long as you can do the things well and do it properly, but in a way that is understandable to the student,
As far as
proper-ish. I
if
mean,
it's
well
attorney,
enough, right?
if you're an
None of us
attorney-
are perfect.
I hate fighting my students in tournaments.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate fighting my students in tournaments because I shift into instructor mode, and it is not at all uncommon that my students just
Yeah.
kick my ass. No,
Remember?
it's
Are you
a
on my
classic.
team?
My
Boom.
daughter.
Nope.
I was fighting my daughter a couple of years ago in a tournament, and she one-shotted me out of the damn tournament.
Yeah.
Now, on the
Well, granted, I forgot that she was a lefty, and I was being stupid. But
On the subject of just do it bigger, don't get me wrong though, what method do you use to kind of draw the new fencer into actually throwing the shot? Because I can run into a lot of that.
Sure.
Too
When
timid
they're,
to throw the shot.
or they just don't know that
When
they
we,
have a shot.
so, we,
So
I
you know,
mean,
I wind up leaving those big openings, but I mean it is bad for you.
yeah, so, I'm in a lot of game of blade. Okay. And like, I will wait, and if she doesn't do it, then I'll move, right? Or,
and the situation can occur where they're going to go, well, didn't you see the opening? He goes, yeah, but I didn't think you were that stupid.
and I'm like, and which is why you want to fight well.
And to which my response is something like, it's practice.
So,
Yeah.
in my blade. That was a little too long.
Yeah.
That was too long for Gwen. That might not be too long for someone else. You gauge based on their experience. And so, in my blade,
Am I gonna be me or a new fighter?
you do you.
Okay.
None of those were bad. None of those were particularly bad Italian fencing, but they were bigger moves that were intended for her to see what was going on and pick the right reaction out of her list.
Open
And
stuff
use
up
it.
a little bit. Basically, you don't fight tight, you fight loose.
Yeah.
So that instead, for example, if I'm fighting someone, a newbie, I might fight here
Yeah.
instead of here.
Yeah.
Right? Because you open it up a little bit,
Yep.
and you give them the. But now, again, you got to be careful.
And if you
Tournament mode, when all of a sudden you find yourself in tournament mode, starting here instead of here.
Yeah.
let's say like maybe you set something up and they don't do anything, and you go tick 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 tick. Okay. And they don't. One phrase I might use is, "What are you seeing?"
Yep.
And if they go, "I
Nothing.
don't nothing." Okay, teaching moment. Like, okay, so
we stop.
yeah, this is where we stop, and I show you because oh god, the number of times I have given him that answer, and he shows me, and I go, "Oh well, now it's so obvious," but I totally didn't see it.
The one I use, and it's probably the wrong phrase. It's not the best phrase. It's why are you doing that?
Granted, I've known him 10 years, so he can say that to me.
What did you do?
Yeah. What did you do?
What did you do?
Yeah.
And a lot of times he'll go, "Why are you doing that?" And I'll go, "I don't know." Okay,
Okay,
well,
then
let's look at
think
it.
about it a little. Let's think about it. And so that's, we're still using this core set of this core curriculum, but it's highly customized to each individual person because the techniques are so generic.
And now we're getting into knowing your students. Sometimes they know, "Why are you doing that?" It's like, "Gwen, you learned that 3 weeks ago." I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" "I don't know." And he goes, "Okay." He reads me. He'll say, "Okay, take a step back."
Bad day. Bad day. Okay. Let's let you want to call it. Let's call it.
Yeah, or somebody who's
If
going
they
to say
score
step.
something good,
Yeah.
you stop and you go, "What did you just do?"
Yep.
And
And
sometimes
if they go, "Oh, I don't know," I'll say, "Okay,
Well, here's what you
let's
did."
rewind and show you exactly what you did that was so good."
Yeah. And there are times I'll just be, I'm clearly not focused or centered or I'm there. He'll say, "Okay," he said, "take a step back, breathe." And he'll just wait with his sword down for however long it takes me
Until she
to,
gets him back in guard.
I'll do it a few times, maybe I'll jump up and down.
I read this.
Okay, I'm good.
And I read this somewhere. There's a physiological reason for why deep breaths are calming.
Yep.
I haven't finished reading the thing because it was just on my phone as we were coming down here. And I have no signal. But apparently, like those deep breaths, those slow deep breaths are they have an actual good benefit for your student. And so, if your student is frustrated, that looks really great.
Yeah, doesn't it?
If your student is frustrated, having them take a break, take the mask off if they have to, get their head back in it, and recognize it so that you're not wasting everyone's time, your time in there.
And if, there are times when I'm frustrated, I feel like I'm doing bad. He'll say, "You're doing fine. You're doing good." And because I have a good relationship with my teacher, I trust him when he says, I believe him when he says that. Versus,
You're doing fine, but you're fighting Terry.
yeah. Or it might be like, it's like, "You're actually doing well with this Gwen." If I'm like, "Oh, screwed it up again."
You're doing well. You're doing this thing well.
Yeah.
Everything else may be falling apart, but
Yeah.
this piece that we're working on is working.
Yeah. And he knows, as again, he knows my body language. Like, I might do something, and halfway through the maneuver, I know I've done it wrong, and I'll go,
Like, why did you stop?
and I'm like, "Because I fucked it up."
No, come back. And so we'll fix it.
So again, he knows my mannerisms, and that's part of being a teacher, starting to learn your students' mannerisms. He knows. Well, I know, because every time I know I fucked that up, I always stop, drop the sword.
Yeah.
It's always that motion, 3 steps this way, and then I turn back. Every time.
Yeah, you said mannerism, like some dude makes your head explode.
No.
But
I used to do that when I was a brown belt. I would do something and I would make a mistake and I would go,
Yep.
and my sensei would look at me and go, "What just happened?" I screwed that up. "Yeah, I know. Don't do it again." And
Fix it.
We would do it again, and he knew it because I would always do that. I would,
Yep.
Yep. And there's also something that I don't know if this is your intended benefit. Maybe you've done a lesson, okay, and he'll go, "Okay, 5 fights." Okay, I'm just gonna turn off whatever I learned. If it comes in, great. But right now, I'm just having 5 fights. I'm just gonna have some fun.
You just need to come and hit me.
Yeah.
And if you can reiterate the base principles. Dominate the blade.
Yeah.
Own the control the pacing. Whatever your metaphor is,
Yeah.
you can reiterate those as you fence. and then they're like, oh yeah, I have to do that thing, and then more often than not, the things that we're working on will creep back in.
Yeah. For me, those 5 fights are a nice way to go, to physically go, okay, fun time.
Yep.
So I get to end my lesson on a good note. Even if I was frustrated as hell with it, end on a good note. I've done 5 passes with my teacher. I had fun. Okay, now I'm going to go fight everybody else.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to go fight Terry and get my ass kicked. Now I'm going to go fight Logos and get my ass kicked.
You stabbed Terry in the face last time. It was pretty good.
That was fun.